What's up, guys? I'm back with another video doing more body work. As you can see, this is my first fender that I did. It's pretty much done. It needs a little bit more paint. I have to go out and go get some more paint. And as you can see, this is a part that I repaired right here, and also at the bottom you kind of can't see it. Same locations that this one need repair on. And in the last video you seen me do this one. So now I'm about to start on this one. As you can see, there's a lot more curves in this piece rather than that piece. So it's a little bit more difficult, but nonetheless, we'll still make it work just fine. Not too worried about it. So the plan of attack is, as you can see, it goes back here too. What I would like to do, start off with this flat piece, make a little strip that's gonna go down here. Then that way I can make this piece and just weld it on, and also make this curved piece and just weld it on. Shouldn't be too difficult. Like I said, I did it with that fender over there and it came out literally perfect. So yeah, all simple tools, no crazy tools. Literally all I have is a flux core welder, sheet metal, a regular grinder, and what, 2 pair of pliers to like bend the metal how I would like. Yeah, so all simple tools, and like I said, this one came out perfect. Like you can't even tell where I started welding on this one. So came out really good. So just bear with me and we're gonna get started. All right, so step 1, clean up all of this. Make sure you're getting to the edges with good metal. Also use pretty good, I'm using a face shield. Protect yourself. Also use gloves. If you want, you can use hearing protection too. So as you can see, pretty much got all the bad metal cut out. I know my shadow's in the way, but you know, I pretty much got all the bad stuff cut out. Pretty clean looking. And I'm gonna definitely clean up these edges a bit. But that's the first step, just getting all the bad metal out. Next step, start getting your metal that you're gonna put in here, start getting that shaped up. So like I said, I'm gonna use 3 different pieces. 1 piece for this curved part, 1 piece for this flat part, and then 1 piece for this other flat part. And I'm gonna weld them all together. Do one at a time, don't rush it. Alright, so at the moment, this is all I have, right? I got 2 lines right here. I don't know if you can see that. I got 2 lines right here of where that should line up. And that's all I had marked. And I just wanted to make sure it was long enough to reach down there. Now you got a little bit of playroom, so don't worry too much if it's not perfect. But that's basically where I want to get it. Alright. So from there, I'm pretty much gonna try to make these 2 connect. From this curve to this curve right here. Like I said, this is like a kind of a rough edge, rough draft. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. But like I said, don't worry, because it's gonna come out good. So this is just a rough idea of where it's going to be, right? Something like that. And then it's gonna come out to here and I'm gonna weld it on here. I'm not welding it on here, I'm welding it on this. It's a little piece of metal right here. So that's pretty much how it's gonna go to line those up. So now what I'm about to do, don't cut on the black line, but cut kind of a little barrier around it so you can start getting this thing, you know, reeled in how you want. All right, so here I have my baseline, my base edge right here, and this part I'm just using it to hold the vice grips and whatnot. But this part will be a lot easier to grind down because it's just flat right there. All right, so honestly what I'm thinking about doing, tacking this part in, right, getting it where I want it. That way I can start feathering this edge off, this little edge right here, and I can start making my curved edge right here. So I honestly think that'll be best for this situation. Just getting this in like as a rough draft. Like I said, don't worry, because I already did this on one edge and it came out fine. So I'm just doing it on the other one now. So yeah, what I'm about to do is tack this piece in and then start making the other parts and grind this edge down. All right, so this piece is tacked in. Like, don't worry about this piece for now. We're about to move on to this piece right here, this curved part, which is going to be the hardest part, but it's still not going to be that bad. Cutting off this little square right here, and then I'm gonna show you how to bend it, because you want to get the bend in there before you cut it to size. Because if you bend it, or if you cut it to size then bend it, sometimes it's not going to be exactly right. So we're going to bend it to shape first and then cut it to size. All right, so now that you have this thing cut to size, in order to bend it with, you know, simple tools, I have a pair of vice grips. Just clamp it. And then I also have another pair of regular pliers. All right. All you have to do is just take them and bend it. So grab it from the other side. All right. Start bending it. Don't really matter which way you start. Just gotta start moving this thing. It's kind of hard, but I mean, the more you do it, the easier it starts bending. As you can see, I'm already starting to get a good decent bend in there. So you just got to keep going to get that straightened out. And then, you know, if it's still not perfect in some spots, like the bend, just get a pair of like C-clamps and just clamp it down and then weld it, and it should come out good. If you would like, in order to get a deeper bend, you can grab a torch, heat it up to where it's easier to bend. I don't think I'm gonna need to really do that, but yeah, that's just a little bit of advice. All right, here's my piece that I made to fit in there. If you look at it, it's really close. All right, the lines up pretty well. Not perfect, but I can definitely work around that, and it should hit right in here. Only part I don't like is this piece right here, which I can just like push down a little bit and have this stuff line up pretty well. But I'm about to get started on that part as well. like I was saying, can get a C-clamp to squeeze it together to have better fitment, and that's what I just did right here, just so I can get this part in. Makes it a lot easier. So now I'm about to drop a couple more tacks. All right. Well, so far this is what it's looking like. I replicated the curve pretty good. It's like in, and it's not like welded onto this bottom piece. That was like another thing you got to make sure of. This part is like tacked into both this piece and this piece. I just have to finish welding it on, and then I can start grinding it down. But yeah, it's coming along really quick. Looks really good too. All right, so here it is at the moment after I just kind of sanded it down. As you can see, I replicated the curve. I have this piece on, and so now it's kind of time to start on that back piece, but that's gonna be the easy part. So after all this, you will need a little bit of Bondo just to make sure it's perfect and smoothed out. That's what I also did with that one. Even though that one was flat, still did a little bit of Bondo just to make sure it was like absolutely perfect. And then after that, it's primer and paint. But I just need just a little bit of touching up right here. A little bit at the bottom, just need a little bit of cleaning up. I'm not too worried about that, but I'm gonna take care of it. And yeah, I mean, it's coming along pretty good. All right, so as of right now, here is the final product. Right there, I don't know if you can see. I got it all welded in. I think it looks really good. It might look a little weird on camera, but in person, this thing is pretty much perfect. And all the imperfections that are here will probably be covered up by Bondo, right? You don't want to use Bondo to fill holes, but you want to use it to like feather it and make it smooth. So any holes that's there, you have to fill them in with metal. Everything else, you can probably use Bondo for. Here's the back side of it. I did a little bit on the back, make sure that it's welded in. This part I'm not like crazy worried about. Like, yeah, it's not like bent in like this, but I'm not too worried about that part anyway. Worst case, I just give it a couple little light taps with a like little small hammer, just so I can like bend it in a little bit, just like the rest of everything. Everything else looks good. This is smooth right here. All that is smooth. So yeah, now next step is just Bondo, but pretty sure you guys know how to do that, so I'm probably gonna end this part here. All right, so at the moment, this is the final product of this fender. It don't look bad. There's a little bit of Bondo right here, so I gotta like clean up this edge, just sand it down a little bit. But as you can tell, I pretty much matched the body line pretty good as best as I can. I matched this curve as best as I can. You can, on the camera, you can kind of see like what looks to be like slight imperfection, but if you look at that, that's really clean. It just needs like a tiny bit more sanding, and I was just doing the spray like one color so I can see all the imperfections. So yeah, it's not looking bad at all. I just got a few little imperfections I got to take care of, and light grit sandpaper will take care of this. So this is pretty much the whole panel done from start to finish. Like this part is all good. It don't even look like I touched this piece, to be honest. And this piece, this is like really good until you get like super close and like notice barely any small imperfections. So honestly, I would call this good for my first time doing something with this type of curvature with simple tools. I did this with the simplest tools that you can really even find. So yeah, if you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe, share this video if you know anybody that needs help with body work. Yeah, pretty soon I'm gonna be putting these things on. See y'all in the next one.